Hello, my name is Grace Pwete from the Open University of Tanzania, and this is a lecture on SQL Data Definition Language Commands. This is a practical based lecture where we're going to look at create database SQL command with an example, show database command, create table command, alter table, and then how to drop a column within a created table. We are going to create a sample database called test database. So we're going to type create database test database. You put semicolon at the end and then you press enter. This is the output you'll be supposed to get, saying query OK, comma, one row affected plus the time that has been used. How do we prove that our database has been created? We use another command called show databases. This command will show the database available in your MySQL. Show databases. You put semicolon at the end and then you press enter. As you can see, we've got a table which says database on top with the available database within this system. And as we can see, the database that we've created, a test database, can be seen there. And the good thing is the database's name have been listed alphabetically. Now, this was a test database, and now let us learn on how to delete this particular database. A command used to delete a database is called drop. You type drop, and then you type a word database, and then you specify the name of the database that you want to delete. Then you put semicolon at the end, you press enter. You should get query OK, 0 rows affected, and the time. Make sure that you spell the name correctly, otherwise you'll get an error. Let's prove that the database has been deleted. You type show databases, you put semicolon at the end, and then you press enter. As you can see, the database called test database is not there, it has been deleted. Now let us learn on how to create a table. In order to create a table, you need to use a database. You need to be in a certain database. As you can see, there are several databases there. We need to select a particular database, and then when you go into that database, then you can start creating tables. I'm going to create another database called company. Type create database company. Put semicolon at the end, press enter. Let us see if our database is there. We can see that company is there. Now we want to create a table called employees within the company database. Before creating that particular table, we need to be in the company database. You say use company, then you press enter. You get a response saying database changed. That means now we are in the company databases. Let us see if there are any tables. We know now that company database doesn't have any tables. You type show tables, you put semicolon at the end, you press enter. It will tell you you've got empty set with the time. We're going to create a table called employees. You type create table, employees, and then you open brackets. Now we have to put attributes or columns for this particular table. You put a name of a column, and normally we'll start with the primary key, which is employee ID. You put the name of the attribute, and then you put a data type for it. We'll specify it must not be null, say not null, and then say it's a primary key, you put a comma, and then we'll have last name for that employee, and we'll have to specify the data type which is a character. Then we have another attribute called first name. It's also a character. You put a comma. We'll have another attribute called address, also a character. And then we have the final attribute called city, also a character. And then you close the brackets, you put semicolon at the end, and then you press enter. As you can see, our table has been created. You get a response saying query OK, 0 rows affected, and the time that has been used. Now, how do we prove that our table has been created? We use the same command we had used before. We say show tables. You must remember my SQL is not case sensitive. Now, you get a response saying tables in company. That means the tables that have been created for company database, and we've got employees, the table that we've created. And now let us see the structure of this particular table that we have created. In order to see the structure of the table, you type the word DESC. It's a short form of describe, and then you put the table name. Put semicolon at the end, you press enter. You get the table and its structure as we've created employee ID. A data type is int, and it's a primary key. We've got last name, good first name, address, and city. Now, there is another command we need to learn in defining databases. You can alter, or you can change the structure of a table by using alter command. Let's modify our table by adding another column or another field in this table. We say alter, and then you put a table name. Our table name is employees. Now we want to add another attribute called education level for this particular employee. Education level, it's a character. We say varchar. You close the brackets, put a semicolon, and then you press enter. As you can see, you must get an output saying query OK, 0 affected, and the time that has been used. Now let us prove that our table has that particular column that has been added. Say describe employees. You put a semicolon and then you press enter. As you can see, education level has been added as the last column of that particular table. In using alter command, you can also drop a column. Now let us learn on how to delete or drop a column. Use alter command. You say alter table. You specify the table name, and then you say drop column city. Put a semicolon and then you press enter. You should get an output query OK. Make sure the spelling is correct, otherwise you get an error. And let us prove that the city column has been deleted. To describe employees, you put semicolon at the end and then you press enter. We can see now that the city column has been deleted. And this is the end of our lecture on SQL GDL command. I hope you've understood the examples and how to use this command. This is just the basics, but you need to practice more to understand them well. In this lecture, we've learned about create database, create table, alter table, show databases, and the drop a column. Thank you for watching. Lillian.